Well, here's a word that I am willing to bet most Gen Zers and even some millennials would have to Google: pension. It is something rarely seen in the workforce today, but for those lucky enough to have one, well, they've got some decisions to make when it comes to that part of their retirement income. So here to help in this sponsored segment, Peak Retirement Planning founder and CEO Joe Schmitz joining me now. Good to see you again, Joe.
Thanks, Robyn.
All right, how many people would you say, Joe, even have a pension nowadays?
Nowadays, it's less than 20%. Now, if we look at, our parents, maybe it was a lot more likely for their grandparents, for their parents to have it back in the day because a lot of companies offered it. And the main reason why is because people didn't live as long. It was very easy for someone to live till 60 and then they passed away at 70. 10 years is not a bad payout.
Yeah.
But when people are living till 80 or 90, these companies don't have the funds to be able to fund that amount of a retirement.
And what exactly, kind of, explain to us what a pension was, because I feel like some don't even realize what the company was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And if people aren't familiar with it now, they may not have any idea what a pension is. And so what a pension is basically a monthly payout for the rest of your life. So a lot of companies, if you've worked there for a certain amount of years, and there's a lot of companies still here in Ohio who offer that, if you're a state employee, you're going to have a pension. If you're a teacher, you're going to have a pension. You work as a federal employee, military, they still have pensions. They just may not be as generous, but they still have it. And if you've been there for a while, they're pretty good payouts. But every year until you pass, you're guaranteed a payout. That is very attractive for a retiree.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are one that has one, then what do you have to plan for exactly? Because you're saying, it's only part still of your retirement plan.
Exactly. And so for some people, it may be able to cover their entire retirement need. For others, it's only going to be a portion. So for some, they may have the pension and Social Security and their investment. So that may be a three-legged stool to fund their retirement. But what we're really trying to talk to people about that we work with pensions is how do you impact the tax impact of everything? Because you're already starting your income at a higher amount. You've probably heard the saying, I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. For those with pensions, that's probably not going to be the case. For those who have saved a diligent amount, probably not going to be the case because you're going to have to take withdrawals for the income you need in retirement. And so we're typically trying to help those people with tax planning.
So as we talk about this, I just want to ask then, can you take a lump sum? Is that an option and then be taxed once? Do you have to do the monthly allotments?
Yeah, so there's some pension options out there, especially in the state of Ohio here, where you can do what's called a PLOP, a partial lump sum option. And that's where you could still get your monthly payout for life, but maybe you take a little bit of a decrease and you get a lump sum ability to do what you want with it. You could use that money for a fun trip, for pay off debt, or you could just invest it into an IRA for future needs down the road. And we're not seeing everyone do that. You have to run the numbers to see if it makes sense, but we are seeing a lot of people really explore that option because it gives them an opportunity that if they pass away, their loved ones can be left with that, whereas a pension could go away.
Okay.
So it's an extra resource there, but also you may be able to find options out there in today's marketplace with interest rates being higher that you may be able to invest that lump sum and get better returns than what they may be able to promise you through the pension.
Okay.
Remember, pensions are underfunded. They may be doing this option to get you out of it so that you may be able to find something better. So that may be a consideration.
And you talk about taxes, and this is a big part of this. So how do we kind of avoid or lessen our impact or deal with that when we're talking about pensions?
Yeah, I don't think we like taxes very much. And, obviously, I Hate Taxes is the book I wrote. And so when we have a pension, we need to start doing tax planning strategies today. Again, you may not ever see yourself in a lower tax bracket, so let's utilize the taxes while they're lower now. Right now, tax rates for 2 more years are among the lowest that we've seen in history. And then they're set to go up in 2026 due to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And so we need to start acting now. And so if they have a pension, strategies like a Roth conversion or maybe taking out withdrawals now before the required minimum distribution age of 73 or 75 comes into play. And that's what we talk about in this book is a lot of those different strategies of how can we start to put ourselves in a better position.
Okay, so you talk about pension planning in the book. You talk about a number of things as well. And I want you to get out there, Joe, just how this is really a great resource for anyone watching.
Absolutely. So we call it our tax-free retirement toolkit, and it's really just everything packaged together of how can you pay the least amount of taxes throughout retirement. So there's my book in there. There's some resources, some guides. Anytime we talk on TV, radio, anywhere in the community, we always offer the book because we just feel like it's a good resource. We didn't write it to make a ton of money, but we wrote it to get in as many hands as we can so they can live the retirement that they want. So they can actually request it here today, and we'd be glad to send that out to them.
All right, and you can go, of course, to Joe's website and reach out if you want to get a consultation planned. You want to look into making sure that your retirement is as it should be. So, Joe, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.